Hello, it's Eurocine Expo 2025 in a very hot Munich. First interview today, day one of the expo. I'm here with Naomi Amarger from France and New York and London, all over. Thanks for coming to talk to us. Now,
Thanks for having me.
I did a little bit of research and I couldn't get past that first line on your CV of splitting your time between New York and Paris. I mean, which sounds really cool. Getting over that, the fact that you started as an actress and then moved to the other side of the camera. Give me a little bit of the background there. What motivated that move?
It's a bit of a weird path. The story of me becoming an actress comes from the fact that I have no connections in the film industry and really wanted to know, back when I was in high school, how film set worked. And I had a teacher who told me you could apply to be an extra and then you get to be on sets and see how everything works and what different jobs exist, and maybe it will motivate you to pursue filmmaking studies. So that's what I did. I applied to be an extra and was an extra on a couple productions and loved it. And then by accident, I landed a small part in a feature film called Les Héritiers, and that was in 2013.
Right.
And it was a very small role, but because the film was about a classroom full of students, I was on set 30 days, so really had opportunities to meet everyone in the crew. I met a great cinematographer called Myriam Vinocourt, who introduced me to what a cinematographer was. And then I really wanted to know more about this job. So then I went to university and eventually enrolled into Louis-Lumiere Cinematography School in Paris. But during all this, I kept acting because it was my way to keep learning and keep being on set. And also I really loved acting, the performance. What I didn't like was the audition process. I find it so stressful. And then as well as having to constantly sell yourself and do interview. I ended up doing one role that was quite an important one, and so it was a lot of TV and promoting the film, and I felt quite uncomfortable in that position, and then got into cinematography school and learned about framing and lighting and loved it so much. And I realized that what I enjoyed acting on set, that suspended moment of completely diving into a story, I found it back working as an operator and being on set working with actors. So in a way, I didn't miss anything from acting, transitioning into cinematography. And then I worked as a camera assistant after school and climbed up the ranks. And it's been just 4 years of me working full-time as a cinematographer. So I still do a lot of short projects, and I've done 3 features and I'm trying to do more. But I'm still at the beginning of my career.
What was it like when you first looked through a viewfinder on that, live on a set? What did it feel like?
I think the first time I looked through a viewfinder was actually as I was doing acting training. I did a summer workshop for actors, and it was called Acting for the Camera. And so it was probably 15-year-olds learning this. And at some point, the cinematographer who was behind the camera asked me if I wanted to come over and look in it, and then I spent the week just framing, and I did not act at all. So I think that's from this moment I really knew what it felt like, and that privileged position of being behind the lens and witnessing the performance through the camera. I really loved it. And then every time I was working as an actress, I loved getting behind the camera as well, but you can't always do it. I was going to say, it's quite lucky to be able to do that, isn't it? Do you, that buzz of excitement when you look through the lens as a cinematographer, do you still get that? That's still there, isn't it, I guess? I still get it every time. And I also have, because preparing a film it's a huge amount of stress and preparation and trying to figure out how you want to tell the story. And every time I get on set and I'm so nervous and I put my eye in the viewfinder, and as soon as I do it, I know what I have to do.
Right,
And like
yes.
suddenly
Yeah,
everything becomes real. And even when I can't figure out something that I have to do with the lighting, I always put my eye in the camera, and then I know,
Yes.
because it's my prism.
Yeah.
And
actually, people often forget the amount of preparation that goes in before a camera starts rolling on set. It's that's probably a harder process to learn than actually looking through a camera, isn't it? Because you got to build a relationship with the director, the story, and work out where the emotion is. That's because it's a very creative but also a very collaborative process, isn't it? And that I guess working as an actress probably fed into that. As an actor, you have to collaborate. There's no way you cannot even collaborate with camera, aren't you? At the very least, if not other people there. So has that fed into the way you think visually?
Yeah, I think it really helps my work as a cinematographer, that past experience as an actress. When I read a script, I always read it through emotion, the emotional approach. And I love all this preparation process and having discussions with the director based on the emotion and the emotional storytelling. And yeah, obviously everything comes from emotion, and all your creative technical choices have to be based on that. And I think having been an actress also helps me connect with actors more easily, because I wasn't really taught in cinematography school how to collaborate with actors. I think it's something that maybe is missing from the cinematography teaching. Because I remember being in school and having stands in that we would place wherever it was convenient for us, but never really acknowledging the fact that all of our lighting choices are made based on a performance, and that how the actor feels is something that we have to take into consideration. So I think this past experience really helped me collaborate better with everyone, and especially actors and directors.
Yeah, you've been in their shoes, so you exactly know it, don't you? So, the creative side apart, technically, do you enjoy the process of getting involved in choosing lenses, cameras, grading, all that side of it as well? Because that's as important, but it's another huge part of it, isn't it?
Yeah, I love it. I love testing. I love testing when I have a project in mind, so I test a lot. I can't really understand some cinematographers who test a lot of things without having a specific story in mind, because for me, I really need to be in a special mindset and know what story I want to tell, to know if a certain equipment feels right. Often when you work on low budget projects, you don't really get to choose the equipment that you have, but more recently, as I've worked on bigger productions, I was able to do this, and feel very grateful to rental houses who let me experiment. And I love bringing the director when I do this, sometimes bringing actors if they're willing to do it, or maybe actors who stand in who are not our actual actors but who have similar skin tone or hair, and then bring colors that we think the costumes are gonna use, and involve production designer as well. So the more people involved, I think the more precise the vision becomes. But obviously these are great choices, and I really enjoy that process.
No, you can almost get lost in that, couldn't you? It's like you say, and having the budget to do that is a...
it's good that you start shooting at some point, because you have to stop
True,
testing.
You have to press record at some point, This Berlinale Festival, tell me a little bit about that quickly.
Yeah, so earlier this year I've been a part of a workshop program called Berlinale Talents, and it happened during the Berlinale International Film Festival in Berlin. And it's a program that has been running for a long time. You have to apply to it, and then they select around 200 filmmakers from all over the world.
Yep.
And so you have people from a lot of different countries. I think this year it was 120 countries represented, and you have around 10 person per field of work. So you have 10 cinematographers, 10 screenwriters, composers, editors. I think directors are a bit more. It's probably around 50, and producers as well. And you're all put together during a week for masterclasses that you do together. Very long dialogue sessions where there's a mic going around and everyone. It's a very safe space to express yourself. And then you meet industry experts. We also did a lot of technical training. We went to every rental, experimented with the camera, had a HDR seminars, and I made incredible friends.
Right.
And I'm very grateful I could be a part of it, because I think it's very interesting to understand what the filmmaking life is like across the globe, and how people have very different struggles than your own, and this feeling of being a part of a global community where everyone has a different voice and they all come together, and we are all driven by the same passion was something really invigorating.
Yeah, and that's the amazing thing about it. It goes across borders, doesn't it? And those sort of things are so important, because it can be a very hard industry to get into, unless you made it sound very straightforward the way you, but I bet it was, it wasn't quite that. There's a lot of hard work
I got lucky
went into doing
as
that.
well.
Yeah. But no, I think it's fantastic. I think the vision that you can bring to the other side of the camera is fascinating. So, well, the best of luck for the rest of your career.
Thank you.
Thank you for spending time to talk to us, and we'll see you again next year.
Thank you for your time. Yeah.
Thank you.